Hey everybody, it's Rory. Today I made this video of how I force feed my baby rattlesnakes. Now first off, this is a voiceover to my original video, so if everything doesn't line up perfectly, that's just what it is. The audio turned out really terrible, so I'm just going to explain this as we go. So there's the pinky right there. So these baby rattlesnakes are super small, so what we're going to do is instead of trying to shove this whole pinky down their throat, we're going to just cut off the head of the pinky. Our goal is not to get these snakes as fed as possible or full. It's just to give them that little head start, little bit of energy, and hopefully this will trigger their feeding sense later on. Now, I've done this with a bunch of baby rattlesnakes, particularly Crotalus marulus, because when they hatch out, they typically feed on small species of lizard and such. With these southwestern speckled rattlesnakes, a lot of people start them off on live fuzzies. However, I'm not in an area where I can get live fuzzies, and also I just don't like feeding live. So this is usually what I do to get my baby started. Works pretty much every time. Sometimes I have to do it for a little bit longer than I'd like. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 meals before they finally understand that, hey, this, I'm gonna start eating this, and so this is how we do it basically. So we put the snake over a hook, let them crawl onto a sponge, and then we pin the back of their head just like that with a sponge. Then we hold a steady amount of pressure, not too much, and we're gonna get our tools here. Now these tools are rubber tipped tweezers. You can actually get these from Walmart, Amazon, eBay, tons of websites. They're really good. You don't want to be using regular tweezers, mostly because the metal, you can cut them and it's really not good. You want to be as gentle as possible, so you want to have the softest tools as possible. So I'm right here, I'm trying to fiddle, trying to see which tool is best. It's kind of hard to get a hold of the pinky head. And what I'm doing right there is I'm taking the pinky head and I'm pushing it up against its jaw. Usually if you push up against the side, they will open their mouth for an initial bite, and then that's when you kind of reposition it, usually head facing down towards the throat. Just makes it go down smoother. So right here you can see I'm kind of struggling. But just give it a few more minutes. It's usually not easy. Sometimes it takes a little longer. Sometimes they instantly go for it. You can see right there that the jaw is starting to open, and bam, we got the initial bite. Now what I do is I rotate the head to face the nose down just so it goes down as smooth as possible. And you want to just gently push. Now you're going to feel a little bit of resistance, so you want to start lifting up a little bit on that sponge, just not too much. And sometimes you actually have to grab the meal and push down. So go from the top of the meal at the top jaw and push down a little bit until you'll feel it break through that wall. And once it breaks through that wall, you only want to gently push it back just a little bit more and then let the snake go. And they're either going to regurgitate it or they're going to swallow it. So right here, you can see that we let him go and he is standing still, which is good. He's realigning his jaw, which is really what you want to see. I mean, when they're regurgitating, it's like they're slithering backwards with their mouth wide open. They're shaking. They're trying to spit it up. This right here is a perfect sign, and this is exactly what you want to see. That snake just realigned its jaw, has the food in its throat. Don't be scared. It's going to sit there like a lump for a while. That's just how they do it. And then once he starts moving around, he'll start swallowing it eventually. So one thing that I like to do is after they sit for a minute, when I go to hook them to pick them up, usually the meal is a little farther down their throat by then. I'll put the hook up under their initial chin and let them crawl over it. When it comes to that lump and the lump hits the hook, it just kind of helps push it down a little bit. So I always do that just to give myself a little bit of extra reassurance that they are going to swallow those meals. And once you do this, I mean, you don't have to do this every day. You don't have to do this even every week. I mean, these southwestern speckled rattlesnakes, they don't eat often as babies. Usually they'll be born, they'll go into brumation over the winter, so they can go a long time without food. There's some thick baby rattlesnakes. But these guys right now, I do this usually about once a month, and I try to tease feed twice a month. So I'll try to tease feed once. If they don't take, I'll just throw the pinky away or give it to somebody else if they'll take it. And then you can see right here that I'm trying to do my little hook thing where I pick them up by the lump, but the lump doesn't go back far enough, so I just put them up. But yeah, guys, you don't want to do this often. This is just not good for the snake. It's stressful on the snake, and so we want to try to minimize this as much as possible. So with these babies, I'll only do it literally once a month, and I'll try to tease feed twice a month, and eventually they'll take it. It works almost all the time for all of my snakes, and they all end up growing up fine, healthy, yada yada. I can't feed live. I'm not in an area where I could even buy live, and if I would have to raise it myself. So here you can see the second one that we're feeding. I'm just showing you this for a little bit of extra because you're going to see something that happens often here. The snake begins thrashing. So here we go. I'm going to zoom in on this. I get the meal down. I go, everything's going smooth, and then bam, the snake just absolutely starts thrashing. You got to hold firm. You got to be prepared for it. That's how you know you have just the right amount of firmness that snake can't shake free. And then after that, the meal, you can see it goes straight down. The tweezers go right down into his throat, and it was a successful force feeding. Now, this isn't natural. This really isn't the way that you should do it. But when you're in a predicament where you own these animals and you really want them to live and thrive, these are necessary steps that you have to take sometimes. I was only told how to do this from, other videos, vague videos. It just wasn't good. So this is, yeah, this is my little video on how you force feed baby rattlesnakes. If you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hope this helps you and keeps your little snaky babies alive. I truly have a love and respect for these animals, and I try to do everything for them no matter the cost. So thanks for watching, guys. See ya.